Welcome to Illuminati Silver's Inner Sanctum, where we tell you the truth about precious metals, economics and politics. Today is Sunday the 18th of November 2018, and we are briefly reporting on the USA and China dispute at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. US stocks rose at the end of last week, partly on renewed hopes that trade tensions between the US and China may be thawing ahead of the upcoming G20 meeting between Presidents Trump and Xi. President Trump told reporters on Friday he may not impose more tariffs after China sent the United States a list of measures it was willing to take to resolve trade tensions. However, this was thwarted and cast into the dustbin when Vice President Mike Pence traded sharp barbs with Chinese leader Xi in back-to-back speeches at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Papua New Guinea, which confirmed yet again that neither country is willing to compromise in the escalating trade war. China gained some applause on Saturday when President Xi said that implementing tariffs and breaking up supply chains was, quote, short-sighted and doomed to failure, unquote. He also called for a stronger World Trade Organization. After Xi's speech was Vice President Pence's, who in recent weeks has been pushing an aggressive anti-China agenda, and he practically threw down the gauntlet to China on trade and security by saying the US will not back down from its trade dispute with them, and might even double its tariffs unless Beijing bows to US demands. He quotes, "We have taken decisive action to address our imbalance with China. We put tariffs on $250 billion in Chinese goods, and we could even more than double that number," unquote. He added to a questioner, quote, "We're in a very strong position. The American people know that we have to do something to reset this relationship with China economically," unquote. Pence told delegates the US offers countries in the region a better option for economic and diplomatic relations than Beijing's heavy-handed approach. The summit ended today, Sunday, in unprecedented chaos and disarray, without agreement on a joint communique for the first time in its history. It is clear that the US and China are now locked horn in a bitter dispute. China is already purchasing as much gold as it can and selling as many dollar-denominated debt instruments as it dares. It is clear to us that China is beginning to flex its muscles, or perhaps, using a different analogy, shedding its pupillage skin. President Trump seems at least to want the pupil to learn more lessons, while the pupil believes it's time it becomes the teacher. During this intervening period, we can expect some turmoil, and our assessment short-term is that when markets open tomorrow, it will not be positive. This will also have some impact on the US dollar too, perhaps causing some weakness, but will be positive for gold and silver prices. How will all this pan out? Our view is that both nations will resolve this issue relatively soon, as both have too much at stake not to. However, Trump's reputation as a tough negotiator is on the line, and the Chinese do not like to lose face, so both have much to lose if they give away too many concessions. We have produced quite a few videos on China in recent weeks and months because this is an unfolding story with severe consequences, both short-term and long-term. Dollar hegemony is being challenged by the number 2 world economic powerhouse China, which intends to become number 1 in the foreseeable future. Our recommendation is to watch this nation very closely, as its actions will have an impact on the West far stretching into the future. The question for the Trump regime is challenge and destroy, or challenge and acquiesce. Only time will tell which outcome will be accomplished. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.